Hi everybody, and welcome to your course orientation video for Statistics 2. So in this video, I'm just going to go over how to navigate our course on D2L and talk about any important general course policies. And so when you're on our main course page, below you're going to see any announcements that I make. So I'm going to make weekly announcements that just kind of outline your tasks for that week to keep you on track. You'll also see an announcement if there is any kind of change to the course or anything like that. Now, one thing to note is that our course runs from Friday to Thursday. So it's on a weekly schedule running from Friday to Thursday, and so at the beginning of each week will be at the beginning of each Friday, obviously with the exception of this strange first kind of half of a week. And so you'll see announcements on Friday morning describing what you need to do for that week. And so now let's go into content. And in your content, we have a general overview of the course. Everything else is under this table of contents. So we're starting with getting started. So here you'll see this course orientation video that I'm making right now. Below you'll see instructor information. This is just a little bit about how to best get in touch with me. So you've got my email, my student hours, which will be on Zoom, and my email response time. Now it says here that I'll respond to any email within 24 hours. However, if you email me during the week, during a workday, I will get back to you much quicker than that. So long as I'm not in a class or a meeting, I'll get back to you very shortly. On weekends, there's just no guarantee that I'm going to be checking my email constantly, but again, I do try to respond to you as soon as I can, especially considering the fact that this is a completely online class. All right. Also in this Getting Started module, you'll see our general course policies and expectations. And here we talk about communication. One thing I suggest or request really is that when you're emailing me, especially for the first few weeks, if you could just put our course in the subject line, because I teach a couple different courses, and that way I can kind of know what you're talking about a little bit more. As far as course materials goes, the only thing you really need to do is register in MyLabs Plus. You can get a paper textbook from the bookstore if you would like. That is completely up to you. The textbook is actually very good for this course, but you can also access a free ebook on MyLabs Plus. The other thing you do need is a TI-83 or 84 graphing calculator. And finally, you will need a computer with Excel capabilities. However, that's not listed here since that's already part of your technology requirements for an online course. So our general course setup. This is a completely online course, which means there are no live Zoom sessions. And so we talked about the fact that our weeks run from Friday to Thursday. And even though the beginning of our week is Friday, I will post each new module on that Wednesday before that week starts, just so you have over a week to complete all of your assignments. And this course will be released week by week, and I'll show you how to get to our weekly modules a little bit later. All right, as far as late work goes, the best thing you can do is just email me if you need an extension in advance. Things happen, these are crazy times, so if you have a legitimate reason why you cannot complete an assignment on time, please just send me an email beforehand so we can discuss a reasonable deadline. As far as feedback, I will return feedback on all of your assignments, and I'm going to show you how to get to that. You can find that in grades, under your grades, and for every assignment you turn in, you will get something over here that says feedback. And you can click on that to see all of your typed feedback for all assignments. If there is a rubric associated with that assignment, I will also write in the feedback what you got for each category and where points were taken off. So I will be very specific about feedback just because, again, I'm from a distance. It's not like we can discuss this in person. But if you have any questions about your grades, I would strongly encourage you to go to student hours. I would love to answer questions to, describe exactly where you might have lost points and how you can improve. And I'll also make sure to give you feedback within a week of the due date of any assignment, just so you can use that feedback to build your skills for the next unit or module. So let's go back to course policies. All right. As far as attendance goes, attendance is just measured by the completion of your assignments because there are no in-person classes. For our evaluation measures, in the statistics area, our projects are actually worth the same percentage as tests, with homework and formative assessments being worth 10% of your grade each. The homework is through MyLabs Plus. Most of you are probably familiar with MyLabs Plus by now, but if not, there is a resource under Student Resources that tells you a little bit about how you might troubleshoot and how you can get signed up if you're not already. And for our formative part of the grade, this is just going to come from these discussion boards. Now, discussion boards are really important because they talk about a lot of the conceptual ideas, as well as helping you to practice using that statistical vocabulary and speaking that math language. For discussion boards, there is a rubric associated with the discussion boards. Make sure, because there are only 5 discussion boards, and this is worth just as much credit as your homework, just make sure you're writing really thorough answers in your discussion boards and equally thorough responses. And there is a rubric to help kind of guide those expectations for the discussion boards. The projects, like we said, are Excel projects. You will again get a week and a day to complete them. If you do need help with Excel, the best thing to do, because we're from a distance, is to come to my student hours. You can screen share and show me what's going on, and hopefully I can help you troubleshoot if you're having any kind of errors. Late projects will be given a 15% penalty, and you have 1 week to turn them in after the due date until they are no longer accepted. And as for our tests will actually be taken on D2L. And we have direct links to those in your schedule. Tests will be taken in D2L, and you will also need to upload your work in D2L, so we can see where all of your work comes from. Now, we have that every question must have student written work, but when we go for the review, I can kind of describe a little bit more about what work is expected for each question. I mean, we all know that not all statistics questions or parts of questions necessarily need work, but I will show you exactly what's expected as far as, writing out those inputs that you're putting in your calculators. All right, you can look at all this below for our departmental late and missed testing policy. All assignments, all work really must be submitted through D2L. If for some reason you can't upload your work in D2L, you can't convert it to the right format, something like that, send me an email so that it's submitted on time, and then I can help you upload it to D2L. Because if you don't upload it to D2L, then I can't write feedback, and I do want you to have feedback on all assignments. You can see our academic honesty policy under academic integrity. This comes from the student handbook. All right, so those are our major course policies. Let's go back to the table of contents. And so the other thing is the communication plan, and that just kind of reiterates the best way to get in contact with me is email, and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. All right. And so for testing, we just have some of the major testing policies. There will be timed tests with a time limit of 2 hours, again, that you'll take on D2L, and these will be unproctored. All right, we've got a MyLabs Plus link just for convenience. Another thing to note is in the resources, there are a lot of those statistics tables from Statistics 1 that you're probably familiar with. If you do have a paper book, you probably have those included with your book. But there are these tables for the z-score, that t-table, all this other stuff that you might be familiar with. So you can print all of this out, or you can just kind of save it on your computer and not waste paper. But please feel free to use any of these resources during the test. You are allowed to use all of these during your tests. So this is everything you need to know. These are some TI-84 cheat sheets, and they actually do a pretty good job of describing the inputs you need to do certain statistical manipulations in your TI-84 calculators. Now, in the videos, I use a calculator emulator, and so I'll kind of go through the method of using your calculator for that, but these are some great resources when you forget exactly what to do. All right, and now for your weekly modules. So for your weekly modules, we have an overview of what we are going to do. Now this first week, because it's a short week, it's just going to be a discussion board and a review because our week just goes from Saturday to Thursday. And so we will outline all of your assignments that you'll need to do in a given week. For this review, we just have some supplemental videos for you to watch. For when we get into the content, we will have both videos and completed notes for your reference. And finally, any linked assignments you will find also in this weekly module. And so as you can see, week 1 has been released already, but you will get these week by week on Wednesday mornings. And one more thing we have to talk about is our course schedule. And in our course schedule, we also have all of these linked assignments here. This course schedule lists everything, all assignments, including discussion boards, homeworks, tests, and labs, which is everything you need to do for this course. In addition, you'll notice that week 1 is a link and week 2 is not. And so when these modules are created, we'll just link them directly to the schedule. And so if I click on week 1, that's just another way that I can get to this same weekly module that has all of those materials. All right, I believe that is it for how to navigate our D2L. So if you have any questions, please email me. That's the best way to come in contact with me. Or of course, you can just hop on my student hours. You don't need any kind of appointment for that. All right, I hope we have a good semester, and please feel free to reach out.